evening, friends and neighbors. Or shall I say this afternoon?
Welcome back to the Denver Broncos franchise on Madden 22. I'm your host, longtime listener. Be sure to drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment below. It is the last week of the regular season. We're playing the Jets on the road. They've got a young quarterback who's, an 84 overall in Hunter Cleary, so he's definitely capable, although this team has not been very good offensively, really passing or running. We'll go ahead and say defend the deep pass because that's what it's suggesting anyway. These guys are actually pretty good against the pass, but not against the run, so we will stick with this strategy of running the ball. You know what? Let's run outside. I feel like when we run the ball well, it is to the outside, at least when I'm playing. And with Quinn and Williams up the middle, there's no sense in running right at their best player. So we'll try and go outside instead of inside and see if that helps. And then here, we will go with, we're going to get an interception, first downs, rush for 150, and let's hold them to less than 4 yards to carry. I've got a franchise going on the side that I'm just doing for fun in my spare time. And I had a draft where I had a player, hidden dev trait, that was a superstar X Factor right out of the draft. I didn't even know that that was possible. That's the first time I've ever done that. It was a outside linebacker, and I got him in the second round, and he was like a 74 overall. So that was freaking crazy. But anyway, we'll look to see if we can maybe snatch one or two of those in the future. That would be crazy good. But anyway, all right, so we are done with training. Let's go ahead and knock out player upgrades. Jerry Jeudy getting one. Keep emphasizing what he's best at now, which is running routes and getting open. Noah Fant. We're going to go possession. It's a scheme fit. Plus, he'll probably get some blocking upgrades as well. Yes, he did. Several of them, which is awesome. Will McPherson getting one. We're going to go field general. Is he up to a star dev trait? Or is he still normal? He's still normal. Which hurts my heart a little bit, but he's still a pretty darn good player. All right, with Surtain, let's go ahead and stick with slot for now since it's the scheme fit, but we might actually go with zone for a couple moving forward just because we play a lot of zone anyway, but it's not a big deal. He's really good at pretty much everything, so that's all we need to do. So let's go ahead. We're going to advance the week. Then we will take a look at the stats and everything at the end of the regular season. And then what happens next is going to depend on whether or not we get the bye in the first week of the playoffs. So, we did not. We're going to play the Ravens in week 1. So, how did we decide we would do this? We will sim this one, play the divisional round, sim the AFC Championship, and play the Super Bowl. Excuse me, sorry. So let's go. We won 45-21. Let's look at the stats from that game, just out of curiosity. Doesn't really matter a whole lot at this point, but wait. That's not what I want. I got to get out of the season or the playoff schedule and go to the team schedule here. Now we want regular season. All the way down to the Jets. We threw it well, ran it well, stuffed them, and they threw it okay, but they turned it over twice. We took care of the football. Yada, yada, yada. 45-21 victory. Pretty solid all around. Brett Morris was really good. 337, 4 touchdowns, sacked twice. Cleary, 282, 2 touchdowns, but picked off twice and sacked 4 times. Javonte Williams averaged 6 yards a carry, got him a couple of touchdowns. Marlon Mack didn't do much. Cohen was all right. about receiving? Tim Patrick, a nice day. Jerry Jeudy, a nice day. Elijah Moore was all right for them. Davis. They've got Devontae Adams in the twilight of his career. Cortland Sutton was all right. Noah Fant was all right. They've got Gronk still playing football. He's got to be like 39 at this point. I don't know, though, honestly. I'm not sure exactly how old Gronk is. All right, Mosley and McPherson both with 9 tackles. Who had the sacks? They had a couple. We had a bunch. Jones had a sack and a half. So did Webster. Johnston. And that's it for Denver. Then Palmer and Fadukasi for the Jets. So, season's over. We ended up going, what, 13-4? Is that right? That's a pretty darn good regular season. And it's a shame that we get that close to the bye but don't get it. But dem's the breaks. Let's look around the league actually at... I want to see... No, not the schedule. I want stats. Not schedule. Where are you at, stats? Here we go. So, Brett Morris ended up with 4,123 yards passing, 33 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Those are pretty good numbers. Threw for 242 yards a game, a QB rating of 103.1, and he was sacked 31 times. If he can do that every year for his career, I would sign up for it in a heartbeat. Javonte Williams averaged 4.5 yards a carry, ran for over 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns. Not a, killer season. Fumbled once, which is acceptable, I guess. Over 274 touches, that's not that bad. Cohen, 470 yards. Stevenson, 317, 4 touchdowns. He fumbled once. So everybody fumbled once. How about Brett Morris with 0 fumbles? As a quarterback, that's pretty good because a lot of times you get hit from your blind side and lose the ball. He didn't have that happen once. How about that year for Jerry Jeudy? 17 touchdowns. Just over 1,000 yards. Cortland Sutton was really good. Noah Fant was pretty good. Patrick was pretty good. Albert O, still got to figure out ways to get him a little bit more involved, but it's hard to do that without taking touches away from, your big 3 or 4 guys. So it's kind of understandable. But that's that. Now let's look at defense. Sorry, y'all. I'm battling this cough, and it's not going to stop for a few weeks. Will McPherson, 137 tackles, 12 tackles for a loss. Pretty good year. He had 6 sacks, and I'll bet Bradley Chubb led us here. No! Draymond Jones with 11. James Webster, 6.5 as a rookie. 14 tackles for a loss is pretty good. Spencer Johnston also racked up 6 sacks. So we had a pretty good year in the sack column, but nobody just absolutely dominant in that department. Patrick Surtain, another nice year, 4 interceptions. Josie Jewell had 3. He had 2 against the Raiders in that game that we just saw last week. Ronald Darby, 3. Kari Willis had a couple. Ojemudia 1, and Justin Simmons 1. Kicking, Brandon McManus missed 3 field goals on the year, long of 55. 24 for 27 is pretty good. And then punting, the rookie ends up with a net average of 44.3 yards. That's actually pretty solid for a rookie. So we'll take that. And honestly, I don't really care that much about punters and kickers. To me, there's very little difference when you're playing with them other than distance. Accuracy, you kind of control. So anyway. All right, so let's look at total offense here. So we're near the top, probably 12th. It's not that bad. Passing, I'll bet you we're going to be towards the bottom. Yeah, we're 7th from the bottom, but that's okay because we're going to be way up here at the top of this list. Yeah, 5th in the league in rushing is pretty good. Now, points per game, as long as you're in like the top 10, I'm fine. And we're going to be, yeah, we're like 7th. That's pretty solid. I'd like to have that number up around 28 or 29. And frankly, in the games that we played, we tended to rack up a lot of points. We had some blowouts, so they weren't really doing well when I wasn't controlling them, but it's all right. Passing touchdowns, we had 33, which actually puts us near the top of the league, I guess. Probably about 10th. We'll take it. Rushing touchdowns, 22 is going to be in the middle of the pack, it looks like. Actually, probably, you know, a little bit towards the bottom, but not that bad. Now, first downs, another stat that I kind of like to track. We're not getting as many of them as I would like. I like to have a bunch of first downs, but usually when I have a ton of... Wait, maybe I just missed us. Okay, there we are, 302. So we're right in the middle. Usually when we are like leading the league in first downs, it's with a team that doesn't have a very good quarterback, and we've got to run the ball a lot. And we rack up a bunch of first downs by, you know, getting it to 3rd and 2 and running for it and getting it, kind of thing. Now, defensively, I love this. First in total yards allowed. That is freaking stellar, especially considering how many games we simmed. 3rd against the pass and 4th against the rush. So there's no easy way to beat us. Points against, 1st. Sacks, 6th. Fumbles are, you know, kind of quirky because they can be so hit and miss that I don't really worry about it. And then interceptions, we're probably toward the middle if I had to guess. Yeah. So pretty good there, frankly. I mean, those are pretty darn good numbers. When you lead the league in total yards against and points against, your defense is doing something right. All right, 3rd down percentage, let's at least just look at it to see kind of where we land. Right near the middle, just shy of 50%. We're 66% on 4th down, where we were 14 for 21. How many times did we have to go for it compared to the rest of the league? Not very many, so that's a good thing. Red zone efficiency. 65% of the time we're getting touchdowns. That's okay, but not great. Defensive efficiency. You want this number to be low, and it's not really. We're towards the bottom of the league in that department. But here's the number that matters. Trips into the red zone, we were 1st. So that tells you a lot right there. Teams aren't able to move the ball against us. We led the league in penalty yards. Imagine that. All right, so let's just look at turnover differential. That's really the only thing that matters in the grand scheme of things. So we are, yeah, okay, +5 for the year, and that puts us near the top, somewhere in the neighborhood of like 7th or 8th, which is pretty solid. So pretty good numbers statistically there, both individually and as a team. I feel really good about not only kind of where we landed on a lot of those lists, but the fact that we've got some balance as a team. We're just not, you know, easy to expose any one thing against us. You know what I mean? Like, our offensive line is good. We run the ball well. We've got a good tight end or two. We've got good wideouts, a solid quarterback. Our D-line's got some playmakers. Our linebackers are coming along, and Bradley Chubb is definitely a pretty good anchor there. And then our secondary is pretty solid. So, like, how do you beat us? You know what I mean? So anyway, let's go ahead and set the strategy. Didn't we play Baltimore in the freaking wildcard game last year? These guys don't throw the ball well. Let's actually go instead of defend the deep pass, let's do this one. We'll get play recognition, pursuit, tackling, block shedding. Those things will kind of all help us in the run game in general. But let's try and make him beat us with his arm. Let's mix it up a little bit. And then they are dead last against the rush. So let's try and use that and stick with that run outside strategy. Now, team goals for the week. Yeah, we're going to get an interception. Since we're going to try and run the ball, we should be able to get those first downs. And then let's try and hold them to less than 4 yards a carry. Because I think this is going to be a game where whoever runs the ball better is probably going to win. Because I don't think either quarterback's going to go out there and rack up 350 yards and a couple of touchdowns. It's just we're just not built for that. So, we got player upgrade, which is good. Our punter, and then James Webster. So just keep going power. And we didn't get anything to do with power, but whatever. James Webster, run stopper. Yeah, we'll go with that. He's pretty darn good for as young as he is, and I'll tell you what, look out for that guy, because he could end up being an absolute rock star. Love it. Alright, we have some staff points to spend with 26, so let's get those knocked out. And I think we're going to start working our way down this tree right here. 20 points. We'll get XP gains for our offensive linemen. So we'll start doing these. I don't care about these ones over here. But we'll get this tree, which is basically 3 more here. That'll cost 60 points. Then we'll go with the offensive and defensive coordinators. Then we'll work our way down through player personnel the second time. But that's that. All right. Are we ready to sim this game against the Ravens? I believe we are. Let's actually, before we do that, let's look at the standings. Across the league, it's nice to know who was really good, who was really bad. So, 3 teams finished the year 13-4, and of course, we're the one that loses the freaking tiebreaker. And we won 6 games in a row going into the playoffs. So, look out. We got the hot goalie going into the postseason. And then you've got a bunch of teams at 12-5. Look at the Jaguars playing pretty good football, which means Urban Meyer is going to get Coach of the Year. It's garbage. The Rams and Chiefs 11-6. Eagles, Giants, Steelers, and Buccaneers all squeaking in. The Ravens get in at 9-8. Vikings and Seahawks lose tiebreakers. The Bills lose a tiebreaker. Browns lose a tiebreaker. Chargers lose a tie. That is a bunch of teams that are 9-8. Jeez. Then you got a slew of teams at 7-10. Then you've got a couple teams at 6-11, 5-12, 4-13, 3-14, and the Lions. Poor Lions. They just cannot figure it out. Next year, 2 things. Basically, we've got to do a Raiders franchise, but I think I also want to maybe pepper in a Lions franchise as well, because they just need help, guys. Plain and simple. They need some TLC. But I don't care enough about the Lions, really. It's kind of fun to watch their agony to an extent, but I really do want to do one with the Raiders. Look at this. We got the win. That is big time. So we took them down 24-21. Let's look at the stats. Oh, that makes me happy. All right, so we're going to need to go back to Wildcard Weekend. And let's check her out here. So they did not throw the ball well, and we held them to 138 yards on the ground. But when you only throw for 153 and you turn the ball over, That's going to do it. So we only threw for 228, ran for 103, but we took care of the football. And even though they outgained us, that turnover might have been huge. And we came from behind. We were down 14-6 at the half and rallied to beat them. Looks like we got a 2-point conversion. Yep. All right, so let's look at the individual stats here. Jackson threw an interception, and we only sacked him once. 228, 2 touchdowns, 3 sacks. So pretty solid, a 95.6 QB rating. He threw it a bunch, 21 for 36, which is only 58% completion. That's not that great, but as long as you don't turn it over, that's the key. J.K. Dobbins had a pretty nice day, but he did fumble. Well, he got it back, but anyway. Javonte Williams, just 3.8 yards a carry is not that great. And then Jackson ran it 9 times, but only had 37 yards. What was his long? Just 10 yards. So that's where I think our strategy paid off. We didn't let him break those 25, 30-yard runs to get them like into field goal range or whatever. So Jerry Jeudy, nice day. Cortland Sutton, nice day. And then a bunch of guys just kind of average down here. So that's that. Defensively, I want to see who had the interception. Wow, just 7 tackles for the leaders on each team. Sacks. Deshaun Winslow, 3rd-year middle linebacker. Keenan Walker, 3rd-year defensive end. Draymond Jones, he's having a heck of a year. Chuck Clark had a half of one, and combined with Madubike. How do you pronounce this guy's name? I've seen them play. I've just never paid attention to the dude's name. Anyway, doesn't matter. He had a half a sack. No big deal. McManus, 3 field goals. And Gervasi, decent day. Barnhart averaging 58.7 yards per punt. Holy moly. Bucks crushed the Panthers. The Steelers beat the Patriots in Foxborough. That's pretty impressive. And this was in Carolina. Jeez. Green Bay beats the Giants. The Chiefs beat the freaking Jags, which means we might have to go through Kansas City if we're going to win it all. The Rams beat the Eagles by a touchdown. So that's that around the league. And now let's get prepped for our divisional round game. Who are we going to play? Oh, we do have to play the Chiefs. And it's, of course, blizzard conditions, which means we're probably going to have to run the ball a fair amount. So it's going to be key that we're able to establish the run early and then maybe use some play action to try and get a deep shot or two. Stop with the nonsense there. I don't care about that stuff. And sometimes when I get into those cutscenes and I can't get it to not play the music or whatever, I go to post it and it gives me copyright nonsense because of the freaking background music. That I have the volume slider all the way down for that. Yeah, we're going play recognition in this one. I don't care about the hit power. That's kind of stupid in my book. All right. Strategy time. So they want us to contain the QB scramble, but these guys don't run the ball. They are first in passing yards on the season. And Mahomes is definitely capable of beating you with his arm, so we are going to stick with that strategy. So that's that. And then offensively, I like the idea of running outside. These guys are first against the pass. So we're going to have to run the ball well and figure out ways to get some points without slinging it all over the field more than likely. The fact that their defense is pretty good against the pass and it's going to be crappy conditions, it's going to be interesting. And I don't look forward to it. We're still going to go with the idea of the 2 passing touchdowns because I like to try and throw it in when we get close. I've got some plays that I feel like, generally speaking, the defense has a really hard time defending. And we'll use those to our advantage. Now, here, let's go get some sacks, I guess. The hope there is that if we can get the lead and they have to start throwing it more and more late in the game, maybe we can get to Mahomes for a couple of sacks, but that's not going to be easy. All right. Do we have any upgrades? We do. Player upgrades. Micah Kaiser and Natane Muti gets one. We're going field general for Kaiser. Alright, so there we go. And Moody, let's just keep going power. He's getting to be pretty solid, and he's only 24, so we got another solid 5 years out of him, easy, with that star dev trait, maybe even a little bit longer as an offensive lineman. So our offensive line is pretty well set for the most part, especially the interior, I should say. All right, we only have 19 staff points. We need 20 for the next one that we were going to purchase. So we're ready to go out to Mile High. I'm glad that we're at home for this one, but this is not going to be easy. Let's go out and see if we can take care of the Chiefs. And we're at Mile High Stadium in the snow for playoff football. It's the Chiefs and Broncos, a matchup of 2 AFC West opponents in the Divisional Round of the playoffs. And this is going to be a fun game to watch in these conditions. 2 different style of teams, with one being more of a balanced approach, running the football a little bit. The other going to air it out with a lot of weapons, and Pat Mahomes at the helm. And he is going to get the ball first, as Kansas City is going to take the touchback here and start from the 25-yard line. And we'll get a look at the numbers for Mahomes in the regular season. The Chiefs were 11-6. He threw 18 interceptions this season, so 5,000 yards and 33 touchdowns. Impressive, but he's going to have to take care of the football a little bit better, and that is not the start that they were looking for. It is Will McPherson jumping the route, was looking in the zone. It's a pick 6 on the very first play of the game, and he takes it all the way back to the house for a huge score. You see McPherson turn like he was going to be kind of going upfield, and then spins back around. So I don't know if he just pulled a rope-a-dope or what kind of awareness that was, but bottom line, that was a huge play. Now 2nd and 10 on that next drive, and it's going to be Bradley Chubb getting to Mahomes, dropping him for a sack, a loss of 8, make it 3rd down and 18. And the Chiefs now looking at 3rd and long. It's Mahomes from the pocket, has plenty of time, just a 3-man rush, but eventually going to have to just dump it off to Nicole Hardman, and they're going to have to punt, as it would be 4th down and 14. So it's going to be Wisnowski sending it deep. Corey Bryant, the return man, he's going to bring it back across midfield, gets to the edge, and takes it all the way down to the 37-yard line. So great starting field position for the Broncos in this one, as it's a 7-0 lead already, and Brett Morris coming to take the field. He had 33 touchdown passes this season, but half as many interceptions as Mahomes, although just 4,123 yards through the air. But they're going to start on the ground here. It's Javonte Williams up the middle. He's got 12 yards and a 1st down, and Fenton shaking up on the play. Then it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 25. It's going to be Williams to the outside. Another big pickup on the ground there as he takes it down to the 7. Now 2nd and goal from the 4. Morris rolls out. He gets sacked, loses the football. Dillard there to recover, thankfully, for the Broncos. But that would make it 3rd and goal from the 19. And the Broncos would eventually settle for the field goal. It is a 27-yarder for McManus, and the kick is good to make it 10-0 here in the early going. And apologies for my voice. I've got COVID, so it's going to be rough for the next couple of episodes. But anyway, on the ensuing drive, it is going to be Hardman out across midfield to the 49-yard line. A big pickup there. Now 2nd and 5 from the 44. Mahomes to throw. Going to dump it off to his halfback, and that's going to be good all the way down to the 32-yard line, and it's 1st and 10. They're going to keep it on the ground here.
Looked like McPherson maybe had a chance to make the tackle, but he's going to slip through, and Boyd's got himself 14 yards and another Chiefs first down. Make it 1st and 10 from the 18. 2nd and 6. Mahomes looking to throw. Sends it outside. It's going to be Travis Kelce fighting for some extra yardage. He's got it down to the 6. Sets up 1st and goal. 1st and goal from the 6. It's Mahomes looking to throw. Plenty of time to the back of the end zone. He finds Boyd, and that is good for a touchdown. And the Chiefs are on the board. That's going to make it 10-7. That drive going 80 yards in 7 plays in about 3.5 minutes. So the Chiefs get it going after that first drive disaster with the pick 6, and now it's going to be Jerry Jeudy. Grabs that one and takes it all the way down to the Kansas City 46, a gain of 20 on the play. Now 1st and 10. They give to Williams up the middle, and he's got a big hole. Lots of yardage there, down to the 26-yard line, but a flag on the play, and that one is coming back for a block in the back. Now 1st and 5, as the penalty was downfield at least. And it's going to be Morris looking to throw deep. He's got Jerry Jeudy. That's complete all the way down to the 9-yard line, but another flag on the play. This time it is holding, and that one's coming back. So now 2nd and 8. Morris going to keep it on the run pass option, and he takes it up the middle and gets the first down, a pickup of 10. Not usually a guy that's known for running it, but a good one there. Now 1st down at the 34. He's going to go down the middle to Jerry Jeudy. That's complete for 11 yards. Makes it 1st and 10 at the 23. Now they're going to keep it on the ground with Williams, and another big hole up the middle. He's got 11 yards and another first down. Give him 55 yards on 5 carries to that point. Now they're going to go outside with Stevenson, and he's going to get to the edge and take it in from the 12-yard line. So Stevenson, using his speed in these snowy conditions, able to get to the corner of the end zone for the touchdown, and that makes it 17-7 after the extra point was good from McManus. Now 3rd and 6 on the ensuing drive. It's Mahomes to throw. He has that complete and good for the first down. That was Boykin with the catch there. Now 1st and 10 from the 50. Mahomes looking to throw. Plenty of time, just a 3-man rush, but he holds on to it too long, and eventually Draymond Jones going to shake loose and get him for the sack. That's a loss of 8. You got to get rid of the football or take off with it. Now 3rd down and 8, and he's going to send it outside to Boykin. That one is going to be incomplete, out of bounds, and the Chiefs will have to punt. So about 8.5 minutes to go. The Broncos now with the football, 2nd and 7. It's going to be Morris going deep for Cortland Sutton, and that is complete all the way down to the Kansas City 42-yard line. A big strike there on the deep post pattern on play action. Then they're going to go play action again, and this time it's going to be Noah Fant. He's got that one complete all the way down to the 8-yard line, a gain of 20, and it's 1st and goal with Denver looking to add to this lead. And now 2nd and goal. They go up the middle with Williams. He is in for the score. That is going to make it 24-7 with just 6 minutes to play in the first half, as Kansas City in trouble in this one. But it's 3rd down and 10 on the ensuing drive, and it's going to be Mahomes finding Hardman down the middle for a big conversion there. They get it into Denver territory at the 47-yard line and keep the drive alive. Now 2nd and 14. Mahomes looking to throw. He's going deep down the sideline for Boykin, and he is going to make the catch, diving along the sideline, keeps his feet in bounds, and has it all the way down to the 10-yard line. Now 2nd and goal. Mahomes going to fire it down the middle. That is going to be complete for the touchdown, as it was Shelby making the grab there, the young slot receiver with the touchdown, and that's going to cut the lead down to 10. It's 24-14. Now 2.5 minutes to go. Denver with the football. 3rd and inches. They give it to Williams. He's got the first down and keeps the drive alive. Now 1st and 10 from the 37. Morris rolling out, sends it deep down the sideline, and Noah Fant able to drag the feet, and he's got that down to the 6-yard line. And it's 1st and goal from the 6, with Denver looking to make a late strike here to increase this lead. They go up the middle with Williams, and he just trots in a huge touchdown there, as Kansas City was hoping to get this game to halftime with the lead just 10, but that would not be the case. McManus does miss the extra point, but it's still a 16-point advantage late here in the first half, and another big drive there for Denver in the offense. You see there, Dillard shaking up. He is unlikely to return in this one. Now 2nd and 10 on that ensuing drive. They just give it up the middle to the fullback, and he's got first down yardage, and they're going to call a timeout. Now 12 seconds to play. Mahomes looking to throw. He's going deep down the middle. He's got that complete to Boykin. Gets it all the way to the 39-yard line. And with just a few ticks left on the clock, Kansas City going to try a 56-yard field goal, and it is going to hit the crossbar, but is good as Butker able to kick a long field goal in these conditions to at least put a positive note on the end of this first half. But Denver all over Kansas City, putting up 30 points in the first half. It is a 13-point lead with the offense of the Broncos averaging over 10 yards a carry. You see there, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati in the other half of the divisional round. So a battle of divisional opponents in both wings of the AFC conference bracket. Now it is going to be Morris on 3rd and 7 on the opening drive of the second half. Swings it out to Cohen. That's going to be short of the first down. So Kansas City a huge opportunity here early in the second half. They have a chance to get back to a one-score game. They're going to be without their halfback, though, in Boyd. He's out for the rest of the game. You see there, Kelsey got hurt, so the Kansas City offense in trouble because they just have limited weapons to try and use to get back into this one. They're going to swing it outside here. That's complete for first down. It's 1st and 10 at the 40. Mahomes going to try and fire one outside, but that is going to be picked off. That was intended for Pringle, but Surtain just reading the eyes of Mahomes, and that is another interception by the veteran QB, just not getting it done in this one. And now it's going to be Ingold, play action, swings it outside. That's going to be a nice pickup. Now 3rd and 6 from the 1, 3rd and 1 from the 6. Doesn't matter. Stevenson takes it in for the touchdown. The route is on as Kansas City seeing this one get away from him. That would make it 38-7. Now Morris to throw later in the third quarter. He's going deep. That's complete to Tim Patrick. There is a flag on the play, and they're going to get Kansas City for roughing. That's going to move Denver even closer, and an opportunity to really put this one out of reach. He's going to swing it outside to Cohen. He's getting to the edge as the Honey Badger unable to get the angle on him, and he takes it in for the score. That would make it 45-17. Kansas City would add a touchdown late in the ball game, and now one last gasp here. Mahomes hit as he throws. Darby with the interception and a pick six puts an exclamation point on this one, as that would make it 52-24, and that would be your final. Kansas City just getting pummeled in this one. Turnovers an issue as Mahomes threw 3 of them. 2 of them went for touchdowns. The other one eventually led to a touchdown, and that is just absolutely devastating to a team's chances of victory. It also didn't help that they gave up over 9 yards per play. Kansas City just unable to stop this Denver attack. Offensively, they were running it well, over 200 yards, threw for 267, and just absolutely dominant really on both sides of the ball today. Mahomes threw for 359 yards, but 3 interceptions is just not going to get it done. And then you see there, Brett Morris, those 267 yards came on just 16 attempts, where he completed 14 passes, including 1 for a touchdown. Javonte Williams, a big day, 121 yards on 20 carries and 2 touchdowns. Trey Stevenson, a nice day for him, 8 carries, 73 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The leading ball carrier for the Chiefs ended up being Johnny Stanton, so they just had no running game after Boyd left the ball game. Tariq Cohen, 4 carries, just 14 yards on the day, didn't really do much. Boyd, 3 carries, 11 yards before he exited the ball game. And that would pretty much be the summary for the offensive attack on the ground. Miles Boykin, 8 carries, 123 yards, and a touchdown. A nice day for him. He made some great catches, but just not enough from this team to get it done defensively. Shelby, 6 catches, 53 yards, and a touchdown. There's Marquez Boyd with 4 catches for 29 yards and a touchdown. As he was on his way to having a pretty good day before he left the ball game. Ingold, a nice day receiving, 3 catches, 32 yards for the fullback. Always good to see. Cortland Sutton, 2 catches, 78 yards. And then you see there, Tim Patrick with 1 catch for 43 yards. Kelsey and Jimmy Graham, the 2 veteran tight ends for the Chiefs, really didn't do that much in this ball game. Just 38 yards combined on 3 catches. Defensively, Will McPherson, 11 tackles, including 2 for a loss, 2 sacks, and the pick 6 that really set the tone early in this one, as he had a fantastic ball game. Bolton, there you see, 8 tackles, led the Chiefs in that category. Draymond Jones also had a sack. Bradley Chubb had a sack, and then Melvin Ingram, the lone sack for the Kansas City defense. The interceptions were for Ronald Darby, which was the pick 6 late in the game, and then Surtain and McPherson. McManus, a chip shot field goal, and then 5 out of 6 on extra points. Butker hit a 56-yarder, which was impressive in these conditions, as well as 3 extra points on his day. The Broncos only had to punt 1 time. It was a 44-yarder that ended up getting down inside the 20. And then Wisnowski 3 punts with a net average of just 32 yards. Not very good for him. Bottom line, the Broncos dominate in this one, and they win it 52-24 and are moving on in the AFC playoffs.
So we take down the rival Chiefs with a impressive offensive performance for one thing, but the defense won the game for us. They set the tone early with the huge pick 6 on the first play from scrimmage, and we go on to roll to a nice, comfortable victory, sending us to the AFC Championship. We'll have to see who we're going to play, whether it's the Steelers or the Bengals in that one. But first, a few things to get through this week and prepare ourselves for that conference championship game. So we got the bonus points for winning in the snow. I think we get some bonus points for winning against our rival. In fact, did we sweep them this year? We might have beat the Chiefs all 3 times that we played them. And now we have 53 staff points. So we've got a couple of purchases that we can make here. I think they're both going to be, yeah, so XP gains for halfbacks and fullbacks. And then I believe for receivers. Oh, and tight ends. So that's good. The next one will be XP gains for quarterbacks, which is another big one. Then we'll be done with this page. I'm not going to bother with these ones over here. I could, I guess, spend the 10 points on this one, because what that'll do is give me discounts on these purchases. So let's actually go ahead and do that. Where was that? Right there. Player personnel talent costs 20% less. And that's not a very expensive purchase, so we'll do that one. Now we're down to 3 staff points. Obviously can't get anything for that. Alright. Now, so 2 wins, or 2 wins from a Super Bowl championship now in the playoffs. Let's go ahead and advance. We'll see if it's going to be the Bengals or the Steelers, and then we'll take a look at the other games in general to just see what the final scores were. It's the Steelers. So the wild card team, actually they might have, no, they were the wild card, because the Bengals were the regular season champs. Let's get a look at the schedule here. So let's go to the playoffs, and let's back it up to the divisional round. So they won by 3 on the road. Then the Cowboys edged out the Buccaneers. Rams barely beat the Packers. So 3 of the 4 games were really good. We just smoked the Chiefs in that one. I mean, you win by 4 touchdowns in the playoffs. That's highly unexpected, regardless of who's playing. All right. So we'll check out weekly awards. It might be Will McPherson here. Yeah, 2 sacks and a pick 6. And Colin Kaepernick is the QB for the Steelers. Threw for 384 yards against the Bengals. That is ridiculous. All right. So I would not have thought of the Steelers being a pass-first offense, but maybe they are. We'll have to... Oh, it's blizzard conditions again coming up. And I'll tell you what, the fact that we get the Steelers instead of the Bengals puts us in a decent position to be able to simulate and win this game. So here's what we're going to do, actually. Let's just get through this cutscene real quick. We know that there's going to be limited footing or whatever. Now, basically, we're ready to set the strategy and simulate the conference championship. So let's call the episode here. Next episode, we'll start with that game. Obviously, if we win, we will also be playing the Super Bowl, and that'll be essentially the entire episode, those two games. If we lose the AFC conference game or the AFC championship game, we'll probably just go ahead and try and work our way through the postseason in that episode as well, because we can usually squeeze it in about that much time without having the thing get too long. So that'll do it for this episode. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment below, and we will see y'all next time.
Good evening, friends and neighbors. Or shall I say this afternoon?